This isn't going to be a review of Married at First Sight because this is the first episode, episode 10 with the circus comment that I've watched from beginning to end before I even watch a review. Just this is more going to be like a rant commentary on a couple things. One, I noticed that the producers are really the one doing the juggling act and pitting people against each other. The second one is the emasculation that Emem is doing of Ikechi. And lastly, just to talk about how two things can be true. Just because Ikechi is out of bounds and disrespectful, that doesn't mean that MM can't doesn't have things that she needs to change about herself.
MM. Why? Listen, Ikechi, this episode has been an soul, okay? An soul. He's been rude, disrespectful, unnecessarily rude. Like I said, I couldn't even be friends. I couldn't even be platonic friends with the man. So I'm not defending Ikechi, but two things can be true at the same time. Yes, Ikechi is being a jerk, right? And he is. And at the same time, MM is just, I don't get the girl, right? Like, it, and I know I'm gonna keep saying it, and I'm gonna stand on what I said. Like, um, this particular episode, you know, although Ikechi was a little ruder than her, she's just as bad as him, probably even worse, right? Because they're like editing him to be the evil guy and then not showing us a lot of the stuff that she's doing, but you can tell the little parts, right? So, for example, when, and I'll show you the pictures here. I'll try to include a little bit of the clip so hopefully like it won't get taken down. When they met with Dr. Pia after the whole sex harassment scandal, right? She told Ikechi, I will let you take the lead, right? And immediately after that, this girl's arranging a picnic. She's arranging a picnic for the men. Like, why? Like, why are you planning dates? I mean, even if it was production who would like laid out that spread, I would have showed up there like an hour and a half late, like 10 minutes before the end, just like he did. And then, or if I showed up for some reason before him for whatever reason, I would have sat there and just left that stuff just as production had it. And then when he comes, you would have said, "Oh, what's this?" Or I'd been like, "I don't know." Production set it up, and I would have been the end of that. I'm a dominant person. I'm like very dominant. I'm not a submissive person, and I don't plan. And I don't plan dates. Normally, I don't plan dates. When a man plans a date for me, he needs to tell me what's the dress code because that's what he needs to plan when he plans a date for me. I mean, stop emasculating the men. Everybody thinks like emasculating a man means being rude and being verbally abusive and over the top the way that Ikechi's been to her, and that's not the case. Ikechi wants to be a man in a relationship. He wants to plan the dates. He wants to like be in charge of those activities. And every time we turn around, here goes M setting up picnics and things like that. It's like, who does? Girl, he doesn't want you. Like, stop being so thirsty. And even if he did want you, right? Even if he did want you, even if it was like Thomas, there has to be a mutual reciprocation going on. It can't be you doing all the dates and all the planning. First she sets up breakfast for him, and then she sets up some cabana. Like, it's like every date they've been on, she's the one setting it up. It's like, let the man take the lead. Let him do the thing. You told him when doing your meeting with Dr. Pia that you would let him take the lead. So let him take the lead. If he's not taking the lead, and that's why you're setting up these dates, then just tell him, like, and tell the experts, tell production, like, hey, I told him like I'll let him take the lead, and he's not taking the lead, and so just fall all the way back. There's no reason for you to be planning dates and all that stuff. And I already said that in my last video, so I'm not gonna go too much into it. But even in this thing, this guy was pepperoni and on the board, and the man said he was vegan. And he even said to her, like, kind of hint, the bread is nice because there was no bread. There was no bread in the spread. It was a bunch of crackers, cheese, and cured meat. So, like, what do you do? You like at least get some fresh fruits. Even if you didn't want to get some fresh fruits, you could have gotten some dried fruits if you really wanted to like be in charge of the picnic. At least get some stuff that you know you could eat. Like you couldn't even eat. I mean, even at the picnic, he's like sitting there and she's like trying to open up the champagne bottle. It's like, why? Let him offer. And even like he like when he put out his hand to like, you know, get the thing, she was like still struggling with it before she had it. Why, Emem? Stop emasculating. Stop emasculating. Emem, I'm talking to you. Okay, forget Ikechi. Ikechi is a douchebag, and that relationship, that ship has sailed. So gonna happen. This is for you for your next relationship. Stop emasculating your man. Okay, stop planning dates. Stop taking charge of stuff. Stop it. And I said that in my last video, so I'm not gonna go into too deep into it, but it seems to be like a Nigerian woman pattern where it's like they have this like nauseating need to be in charge of like every little details of everything. It's like why? Let the man be a man. Let him plan the date. I mean, we saw a little bit of this with Nigerian prince. What was his name? Chris, Niger Chris from Ready to Love when he snapped at Jessica. I mean, again, very rude, very uncalled for, very disrespectful. But it was just like he was like pushed to his limit, like that kind of like undertoning, like poking at him, poking at him, poking at him, poking at him that Jessica was doing. And I do feel similarly, MM is doing the same thing in the background with Ikechi. Um, whether or not she realizes she's doing that, but she's doing that. And I've spoken about like my brother's ex-girlfriend, Nigerian ex-girlfriend, and how she do, like with the lack of respect for people's diets or decisions or lifestyle. It seems like MM just continually just keeps disrespecting this man's diet and lifestyle and his veganism. And again, that is no excuse for him to talk to her any kind of way. But it just seems like he's been pushed to the breaking point. Like MM, stop planning this. Other woman, other woman, stop planning. Stop planning. Like you didn't even have some fruit. Oh my god, except for like those olives, which probably got out of those cheap cans. MM, forget about Ikechi. He's a loser. But moving forward, I really hope, like, if you watch this video, that you learn something from it and you stop being so forward and spiteful with the man. Next man you get, let him be the man. Let him take charge. You don't need to be planning every day. Like once in a while for a birthday or something like that, it's okay. But like you plan each and every single date and surprise that you guys have had in an outing since this marriage. Like, girl, take it easy. And if it's something where you were like, okay, I'm only planning it because he's not taking initiative, and instead of you being passive aggressive and like ordering stuff that you know he can't eat. Like he says he's a vegan, and you're ordering fish tacos and ordering a charcuterie board with like cured meat and cheese and stuff he can't have. Instead of doing stuff like that, won't you just sit him down and have a conversation with him and say like, hey, even at the picnic, you should just let all that stuff unpack, leave it there, wait for him to come and say like, hey, production left this here, like what do you want to do? Because I told you I'll let you take the lead, so you let me how you want to proceed. Do you want to eat this stuff or do you want to not? Like, stop ordering his food, stop planning dates for him. And that's not just for Ikechi, it's just for like any man who comes into your life. Let the man be the man. Two wrongs don't make a right. And that goes also not just for Emem and Ikechi, but also for Juan and Karla. Now we know where one got that TV stand. It came from the warehouse of whatever furniture, corporate commercial furniture he used. When he took one of those cards. He ordered one too many of one of those cards, and so he went had to be in his apartment because it was too cheap to just get a
A
couch.
TV stand.
One is like, oh, I'm the most busiest person in the world. Get out of here. Like, you're just renting a warehouse, like being a busybody, and you told your wife that you would help her be an entrepreneur, and then she went and quit her job. So instead of like you being negative and like going into confessions and talking about how you can be crazy but not stupid, why don't you just like explain to her? Because clearly, when you told her you'd off, because she said, you know, I got an LLC and I want to do my own business and everything, and then she went and quit her job. So instead of like you being rude to her, if you were really an entrepreneur trying to be a mentor to somebody, you could have been like, listen, like next time before you do something like that, if this marriage is to work, even if you know the marriage isn't gonna work, but like if you want my help, you need to like check in with me. Let's have a conversation before you take those actions. Like, you know, let's make a plan together. Let's get you advertising. You know, it's great that your friend is gonna bring you into New York. You know, can I help you negotiate your flight down there? Can I help you negotiate? And can you use this to build your portfolio? Do you have a portfolio? Like stuff like that. Like, can I help you build a site? I mean, like takes like 2 seconds to go online and build a site not nowadays. Like it's not that serious. Like those are little things that you could have like offered a concrete help. I mean, one goes around talking about how like he's, you know, um his love language is acts of service. But it's not really acts of service. What he wants is his woman, his wife, to just be babying him and doing a lot of stuff, just providing free labor so that he can free up some of that $10,000 a month that he's spending like on his little hobby that he calls a business and app, and it's just a hobby, right? Because if your love language is act of service, means like you cleaning the toilet or the bathtub, that's not giving me a gift because you're using it too, right? That's just you being clean, right? That's like if I cook for my man and I'm like, oh, this act of service. It's like, no, I'm not cooking for my man. I'm cooking for the house. I'm eating it too. That's not a present. That's just basic adulting, right? If your love language was really act of service, why don't you take a massage class or watch a couple how to give your partner massage videos on YouTube or online, and then set up like a massage thing for her, and then massage her because she told you she loves massage, just you know, face down, ass up. So if you know she likes massages, right? So that would have been an act of service, showing her love language, but doing something that she wants. That's you being an act of service. You cleaning the house is not act of service. You cleaning the house is just you being an adult and contributing to the chores. And if she's not, they need to have a conversation with her because you told her you don't like passive aggressive, you don't like when she doesn't talk. Well, then that means you need to be a better communicator as well because you're not talking and telling her what you need. Why don't you tell her, like, hey, I need you to contribute to this house. Like, I don't mind cleaning. Can you cook? Can you cook Colombian food? How does your Mexican food cook? Like, what do you like? Something like that, so that she can contribute to the house instead of the fairy dust and whatever fufu la la land that she is in. So two wrongs can be, two wrongs don't make a right. Um, Ikechi is wrong for the way he's talking to Emem. There's no need for it. There will never be any need for it. Emem's wrong for emasculating him and always taking charge in the relationship, especially after they spoke to Dr. Pia and she said she wouldn't. She would let him take charge, but she's not doing that because she keeps planning stuff. Um, and then you have, Karla being flighty and quitting her job and doing all that stuff and not communicating with Juan before she did that. Like, even if you know the relationship is gone and you're seeing a more platonic friendship, the moment that he'd offered you his business services before you went and quit, you should have like confirmed with him, like, hey, let's sit down and talk. Since you offered me these services, I can go see my clients in their home. How about I quit? That way I have this much time. This is what I think I need based on you being an entrepreneur. Like, do you think that's right? Like, when you said you could help me, what can you help me with? Those type of things. So it just seems like a lot of people who come on these shows, they wouldn't have chosen them in the first place if it was like before the last Chris and Paige season. What was that? Season 12. I didn't watch it. But if they had applied any season between 1 and 11, I think it was that New Orleans was 11. If they hadn't applied any of those seasons, they wouldn't have been chosen for this show. It's the same thing with David and Michelle calling, was it Michelle or Maddison calling Ikechi a con artist? It's like, go sit down, girl. Like, neither of you should be talking on anybody's relationship because both of you are being Karens in your relationship. So go sit down. Like, you don't belong in this conversation. Like, stay out of it.
All right, y'all, drop in the comments below. Let me know what you think, what videos I should do next. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? I really think that the producers set up those picnic knowing good and well that Ikechi would have been upset because he didn't have any vegan options. And I think so they got set up, both MM and Ikechi got set up by the producers. Um, and that's why I think she should have just like left the spread as is and let him come to see what's going on and let him like be part of the decision making. Anyways, let me know what you think below. Bye.